This presentation will serve as an update on the ongoing effort to establish a new pool of magnetotelluric instrumentation and data support services from the PASSCAL Instrument Center. My name is Andy Frassetto. I'm the MT Program Manager at the Incorporated Research Institutions for Seismology, and my co-authors here are Bruce Bodwin, Justin Sweet, Kent Anderson, and Bob Woodward. The PASSCAL Magnetotelluric Program is part of the National Science Foundation-sponsored Seismological Facilities for the Advancement of Geoscience, which is operated by IRIS under an award from NSF from 2018 to 2023. The intent of PASSCAL MT is to support PI-led magnetotelluric experiments from the IRIS PASSCAL Instrument Center. The PIC was opened in 1998. It's affiliated with the New Mexico Institute of Mining and Technology, and at this point has supported over 1,200 PI-led portable seismic experiments. The PIC is more than just a big warehouse of geophysical instruments in the New Mexican desert. It's really a center for excellence that's staffed by dozens of highly talented professionals with expertise in subjects ranging from instrument repair to international shipping and logistics. And the idea for PASSCAL MT is to leverage that deep well of expertise to encourage more cross-disciplinary seismic MT experiments, as well as broaden the reach of the magnetotelluric scientific discipline within the United States and to form a better foundation for collaborations abroad. So let's start with instrumentation. We're in the final stages of receiving 13 LEMI 424 instruments. You can think of these as a modern alternative to the workhorse long period instrument that was used in the US for decades called the NIMS. The LEMI is a data logger and a 3-component flux gate. We're expecting to receive these at the PIC around the time that this presentation is being discussed at AGU, so early to mid-December. And once those are received, they'll be tested and then integrated with customized deployment boxes that will allow PIs to have an ease of use when operating these in the field. In addition, we have a pool of 50 customized boron silver chloride electrodes. Those were selected after a rigorous performance test involving lab and field tests with 7 other commercial and independently made electrodes, mostly of lead chloride and silver chloride chemistries. And the borons were selected as being the best overall option. In addition, we're currently evaluating and testing several different candidate wideband MT systems. These are all commercially available models. And we're hoping to have a final decision on what we would like to procure by either the end of the year or at the latest January 2021. We expect to procure 4 of these in 2021 and then another 14 or more over the next 2 years to form out the facility. For our data and software development, there's a few different activities that are underway. The first is that we're establishing a modernized data flow wherein the PIC will assist archiving principal investigator collected data and helping that be archived into the SAGE Data Management Center, which is operated by IRIS. This will consist of time series data, which will go into Miniseed, which is a tried and true and well-recognized seismic data format, along with MTML for the metadata. And that's adapted from the station XML schema that's used for seismology. We recognize that MT has metadata that is unique and in some cases quite different than seismic data sets. And so MTML will help capture that so data sets are broadly reusable. We already have the capacity to archive MT transfer functions. Those go into the DMC's data products repository. And so we will continue to assist with those being archived. And finally, we're contributing to the nascent development of a future archival format, currently called GeoHDF, which will be used for seismic MT and a broad range of other geophysical data sets. We don't expect this effort to be done for a year or more, but this is a long-term option for archiving MT data. In addition, there's a 2-part development for creating better resources for handling and exchanging data and processing data, and we'll be funding an effort to develop those in 2021. Part 1 of that is an effort to operationalize an exchangeable MT data format, and that's called MTH5. MTH5 offers a flexible HTF5 compatible data structure. It includes the metadata standards that are reflected in MTML, and it's been drafted in collaboration with members of the US MT community, including several MT power users at the USGS. And this is an effort that Jared Peacock has been leading. The second part is to create a modern open source suite of MT data processing tools. And the centerpiece for that is a refactoring of Gary Egbert's EMTF data processing code in Python, and as well as refactoring some of its supporting tools, which include Array Manager and visualization tools. And this was a suite of resources that was used by Oregon State for many years as it operated the Magnetotelluric transportable array. The idea here is that by using Python and creating a more modular structure, this will position the software to work well within the open source community and hopefully seed additional long-term community use and development. In addition, IRIS has been promoting MT through a variety of community outreach activities. We have a webinar series which started in the spring, and we've had 3 of these so far to promote MT research, as well as brief our community on the status of the PASSCAL MT facility. We've had 3 so far, approaching 5,000 total views on YouTube, and we're planning for more in 2021. It's important at this point to emphasize the role of community governance in this activity. So we have an advisory committee, the Electromagnetic Advisory Committee, or EMAC for short, that consists of members of the facility as well as MT data operators within the research community, as well as 2 working groups, one on data and one on instrumentation, that are informing some of the more technical matters that we need to be considering as we establish this new facility. And these really help ensure that the facility is doing creating resources that the community needs and is responsive to changes in needs as the facility is being established. So I would just point to the names on this slide as community stakeholders that we've received quite a bit of input from during this effort. So what to expect as a facility user if you're interested in using MT instruments that are maintained and available out of the PASSCAL Instrument Center? Well, instruments will be available in the next few months. As I mentioned, those procurements are moving along or will start soon. Users can expect to receive training in how to use the equipment, demonstrations in how all of the data support software are used, logistical support in planning their experiment, and other aid that's available to all PIs at no cost. There are metadata and data handling support resources that are available to assist in fulfilling the data archival requirements which NSF and other funding agencies require. And the data processing software will be available to allow PIs to generate MT transfer functions, which are recognized as the starting point for serious MT research and analyses, including inversions. All PIC instruments are prioritized for US researchers, but PIC instruments in general are heavily used for collaborations abroad. And so we encourage international MT practitioners, if you're interested in this facility, the instruments are often a foundation for working with US PIs to set up an experiment. So near-term opportunities. I encourage anyone that's interested in learning more to subscribe to the mailing list that updates on this effort. I would especially encourage potential principal investigators proposing awards to the National Science Foundation. Please think about submitting new proposals or making supplement requests to existing awards and accessing some of this new MT instrumentation, which can drive a lot of very interesting science. We're planning additional workshops, special interest group meetings, as well as additional webinars. We're planning to have an Antarctic themed MT webinar by Phil Wanamaker in January. And the Sage Gauge Community Workshop, which was largely delayed from last summer, is tentatively scheduled again for this August. If it doesn't occur in person, there will almost certainly be a significant virtual component. And finally, we'd like to do a field and data processing short course that's focused especially on novices to MT. We're planning that in the second half of 2021, permitting the COVID situation improves. And there'll be dedicated financial support for instructors as well as at least 12 attendees to attend. And we plan to have this out of the PASSCAL Instrument Center. So if you're interested in this, if you're interested in learning more, feel free to send me an email, and I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.